Alzheimer's disease is a devastating brain disorder striking people of every race and social status. Today, more than 5 million people suffer from the disease, and as our population grows, the numbers continue to climb. Today, you'll meet 3 Native American families caring for loved ones with this illness. Their experiences are shared by many Native Americans, both on and off the reservation. We hope their stories will give you a glimpse of the unique challenges posed by this disease.
Her making, grinding her own corn, fresh corn, and making her tamales, for the kids. Those were things that I remember most.
Everyone has a story.
She was very bright, vibrant. She was always interested in education, hard worker. She would go out and try anything. She experimented. She was adventuresome.
But sometimes that story can change.
I began noticing my dad's changes when he would sometime, when I would come down to visit, I only come down about once a month, he would sometimes forget who he was, or he would forget what he's doing. And it was very subtle. It wasn't like he had this blank look for a long time that it was noticeable.
She would forget where her keys were, or she'd forget where she put something, or she'd be in the middle of a conversation and she'd forget what she was going to say.
Her thinking started to getting a little bit off. Like I said, she felt somebody had come into her house, well, my sister-in-law, and had stolen her clothes, cut them up. And the other thing that was really kind of odd was that she packed all her little ceramic items, those little porcelain. She had lots of little porcelain figurines, and she packed them all up, and she gave all the kids back their pictures.
Well, some of the earliest symptoms a patient may exhibit are loss of memory. Also early on, family members may notice that the patient may have changes in language in regards to understanding certain words or phrases and what is being said to that individual. Sometimes some problems such as doing everyday living tasks, such as housekeeping, paying bills, doing routine activities around the house, sometimes get very confusing for the patient.
These are common signs of Alzheimer's disease: loss of memory, problems with language, misplacing items, and changes in personality.
He would come in here just maybe about an hour after we would go to sleep, about 1, 2 in the morning, and tell us to get up. That why were we sleeping? I guess what happened was that he lost track of night and day. He had his night and days turned around. So he would tell us to get up. He said there's something wrong with the sun. It's not up.
I couldn't figure out why my dishes weren't really getting clean, and she would do that. She would help out around the house. She'd pick up, and I was like, oh yes, it was really good because she did that. She would sweep and she would mop, and I never really, because I really wasn't around during the day. And one day, for whatever reason, I was home, and I was watching her, and she was using the hand wash or sanitizer to wash the dishes. So that stopped. And then when I realized she was using the dishcloth to mop the floor, and I was like, okay, we're not doing this no more.
Alzheimer's disease is not a normal part of aging. For those afflicted, the changes are a source of fear and frustration.
Sometimes she'll just sit there and she'll just shake her head and she'll just tell me, I don't know, something's the matter with me, but I don't know what it is. So she has a very deep sense of awareness, but she can't put her finger on it sometimes. And that's heart-rendering, It's very hard.
When I tried to talk to him, if he was mad, he'd tell me to get away from him, or I don't want to talk to you, or you hate me. You just want to leave me. You're abandoning me. I want you to take me to the jail so I can report on you and get you arrested for neglect. I mean, just really bizarre things. And it was very hard to reason with him. He would eventually calm down, And then he would apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that way. But he couldn't control himself. He says, I don't know what's the matter with me.
There are treatments available, but they are most effective when used early.
There are a select number of FDA-approved medications for Alzheimer's disease. However, these medications do not cure Alzheimer's disease, but they may slow the progression of the disease. They also may alter some of the other symptoms that the patient may exhibit, such as depression and anxiety.
He's taking 2 different types of medication. One is to control his outbursts, and the second one is to control the advancement of Alzheimer's. And those are the only 2 drugs that they currently use. The problem with that is there's side effects.
We had her on the Aricept. We did that for about a year and a half, I think probably a little bit over a year and a half, and it didn't, I don't, you know, I mean, maybe we didn't start it soon enough. Had we started it sooner, maybe there would have been I mean, you could see a change or something, slowing down or something, but even while she was on it, it didn't seem like it made a difference. I was just kept slipping and sliding, and there wasn't any help.
What about, like, just looking for a cure? I mean, do you ever look on the internet or try to read up on whether that's a possibility down the road? I mean, I'm sure it's something that you hope for.
With her, I don't think there is or will be a cure in hers, but for other people, I think there will be, or at least some help of slowing down the process.
Caring for aging parents is a tradition in many families, but caring for a parent or loved one with Alzheimer's is especially challenging, and it's important to ask for help.
I feel that the care and the treatment that I give her is just a small return for all the sacrifices that she made for us as her children. In the old days, the way we were raised, it was, you keep these things in the house. This is nobody's business. So one of the things that I've had to learn how to do is to openly and unashamedly ask for help when I need it.
Just having someone else come around and give you a break, you know, even if it's for a few hours, it's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're so glad to get away, but yet at the same time, you know, it's like, you know you got to come back. You can't just keep going. and there are days that it is frustrating.
My mother has always instilled in us as a family to help each other out because there's nobody else that will help us. And I think in times when the parents become elderly and they can't care for themselves and they revert back to their childhood, then we all have to stay strong and keep that bond going and help one another out.
If you notice changes in your loved one's behavior or memory, ask for help. Talk to your doctor. You can also find out about resources in your area by contacting the Alzheimer's Association. You're not alone.